What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another achievement guide. Today we're going to be focusing on Gore. This game was published by EastAsiaSoft and it was developed by Panda Indie Studio. This is actually the same creator that made other shoot 'em up games such as Red Death, Null Drifter, Project Starship, and Project Starship X. The game is only $4.99 and it's an easy 45-minute completion or platinum trophy. Now, first thing I recommend you do is that you go into the video settings, turn off the screen shake as well as the chromatic aberration. After that, we can go ahead and get started. Now, as with most of the shoot 'em up games published by EastAsiaSoft, this is going to be a bit skill dependent. I think the average player will take about 45 minutes to get this one done. Personally, it took me about 43 minutes. However, I believe that an experienced shoot 'em up player can probably get it done in about 30 minutes. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour is going to be the range for this one. On top of that, as I mentioned, it's only $4.99. So let's go ahead and get started. We have two ways to attack. You can either hold A to shoot, or you can press B to clear the bullets inside of the circle. These are your two forms of attack. Eventually, you can add a secondary weapon. The only thing is there's not a separate button for your secondary weapon. Your secondary weapon, which will end up being missiles, is fired at the same time as your primary weapon. So you'll fire your primary and your secondary with the same button, which is going to be holding down A on Xbox or holding down X on PlayStation. This will keep firing, and eventually, basically the way that this is going to work is, at first, you're not going to be able to get too far. What you're going to need to do is play enough to collect enough coins to be able to start purchasing some upgrades. The more you play, the more you're going to be able to upgrade your aircraft, and the more you upgrade it, the easier it's going to be to play the game and get farther. Ultimately, we need to complete the first 12 levels or 12 waves. After you get to wave 12, you should have all of the level progression related achievements. Aside from that, all of the other achievements are cumulative, so you do not need to get them in one run. They add up amongst all of your runs. For instance, I just unlocked my achievement for killing 10 enemies. However, I killed 10 enemies over those two runs. I didn't kill 10 enemies in that last run specifically. Now, first thing you can upgrade is your spaceship. If you press the spaceship category, we're going to be able to upgrade a couple different things, starting off with your life. I'd say this is one of the most important things to upgrade. Eventually, I upgraded both life upgrades. The first one cost 75 and the second cost 250. Aside from that, I didn't really upgrade anything else in this category. And next we have the main fire upgrades. We have 3 different categories to upgrade: bullet damage, bullets, and fire rate. I recommend focusing on all 3 of these. Now we have an upgrade category called next match. You want to totally ignore these. These just give bonuses in your next run. We want permanent upgrades. One of the other ones you want to focus on is your secondary fire. You need to upgrade the missiles category, which costs 100, and this will add your first missile. Basically, when you're shooting your bullets, it will also shoot a missile every couple seconds. Now real quick, I'm going to put the upgrades that I had by the time I got the full 1000G. I had upgraded my life to full, and I hadn't upgraded anything else in the spaceship category. Now, for the most part, I was focusing on the main fire category, in which I had upgraded my bullet damage to level 2, I had upgraded the bullets to full, and then I had upgraded the fire rate 1 time. Next, I'll show you my footage of me getting all the way to level 12 or wave 12. And basically, as I mentioned before, this is about as far as you need to get in the game, at least if you're going for the full 1000 gamer score or platinum trophy, as the last achievement related to level progression is for getting to wave 12. Now, as you can see, it's much easier to play through the game and make it further if you have upgraded your aircraft. So just make sure that you play for a while, you continue to upgrade your aircraft, and the game is only going to get easier and easier, and eventually it will get easy enough for you to get all the way to wave 12. Now, as you can see, you have a heart on the left hand side of the screen with the number below. This is how many times you can get hit before you die and get a game over. Traditionally, I think you start off the game with just 2 HP, but as you upgrade your HP, you're going to be able to get up to 3 HP to start off with. Not only that, but as you play the game, sometimes enemies will drop power-ups. They're basically these little symbols that typically have a letter on them. If you collect them, sometimes they'll give you extra power-ups. For example, I just got a speed power-up, so it makes my ship just a little bit faster. And then I also just got an HP power up, which gave me 1 more hit, so now I am up to 4 HP. As you can see on the left hand side, I can get hit up to 4 times now. I also just unlocked my achievement for killing up to 500 enemies. You get that one over multiple playthroughs. You do not need to kill 500 enemies in one playthrough. Now, so far so good. We're about halfway there. We're on wave 6 and we still have 4 HP left, which means that I would be able to get hit up to 4 times. Well, now that I got hit once, only up to 3 times. Now you're basically just going to keep firing. As you can see, I could take out enemies pretty quickly because I have 3 bullets. I had upgraded it all the way, which gives you 3 bullets every time you fire. I also just got the Big Collector 3 achievement worth 100 gamer score for collecting 32 upgrades. That's the final achievement related to picking up upgrades, so just make sure that when your enemy drops an upgrade, again, they're little icons with a letter on it. As long as you pick those up, you're going to end up getting the achievement for collecting 32 upgrades eventually. So yeah, this game is a little skill dependent on the achievements and trophies, but ultimately, if you play enough, you're going to be able to upgrade your aircraft enough where the game gets extremely easy. So it's just a matter of time before you get the full 1000 gamer score, regardless of your skill set. Your skill set is just what's going to distinguish your completion time, whether you complete it in 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe, as I mentioned before, the average person will probably take about 45 minutes to get this one done. Now, besides that, we do have achievements and trophies related to killing our enemy with our circle attack, so you just want to make sure that when enemies get close to you, that you press that B button to rack up some kills with your circle attack. I believe they actually call it the shield attack in the game, but regardless, you need to kill 64 enemies using the shield or circle attack, and then you'll have all of the miscellaneous achievements related to using that attack. Besides that, we do have some achievements related to high score, and these are not cumulative. You will need to get this specific high score, or at least this high score, in a game to unlock these achievements or trophies. So these may be the hardest ones, but again, after a while, you're going to upgrade your aircraft enough where the game gets really easy, and eventually getting these achievements for the score related ones are going to be pretty easy. Ultimately, we need to get up to a 50,000 high score. So basically, if you can last up to level 12, you should be able to get a 50,000 high score. They're pretty much going to come at the same time, so as long as you can make it to wave 12, the 50,000 score should come at the same time, as the achievements are pretty much hand in hand, and those are going to be the only ones that are specific to one run. Aside from that, all of the other achievements are cumulative. Again, if you don't know what that means, that just means that they add up over multiple playthroughs. So, we're already on level 10, guys. All we have to do is complete level 10 and level 11, and once we get to level 12, we should unlock our last achievement for reaching level 12. At that point, you can go ahead and check your achievements and see if you have any left. I actually ended up having one achievement after I got the achievement for reaching level 12, and that was for collecting 2,000 coins. Basically, every time you kill an enemy, they may drop a coin or multiple coins, and as you collect these coins, you're going to collect more and more money on the upper left-hand corner of the screen. As you can see, I have $336, which would mean I have collected 336 coins so far just in this playthrough. Now, the last achievement we have related to collecting coins is going to be for collecting 2,000 coins, and this is going to be the last achievement I had left, even after getting the achievement for getting all the way to wave 12. So after this run, I ended up having to play one more run, and I actually got it right at the beginning of my next run. I ended up collecting my 2,000th coin, unlocking my final achievement, giving me that full 1,000 gamer score. So I'd say more than likely, your last achievement is either going to be the one for reaching wave 12, or it's going to be for collecting 2,000 coins. I also want to point out that you don't need to kill every enemy that goes across the screen. For example, you'll find a bunch of enemy eyeballs lined up that fly across the screen. You don't need to kill these. There are some enemies that track you. For example, the red ones that have smiley faces or mouths, whatever you want to call them, they tend to track you at least for a little bit before they give up. The eyeballs, however, do not. They just go across the screen. So you can choose to try to shoot them down and collect the coins, or you can choose to totally ignore them if you just want to make it farther. And as you can see, I finally unlocked my achievement for reaching level 12. The main word there being reach. You do not need to complete level 12, simply reach level 12. Anyhow, I ended up dying right here, getting the game over. I also ended up unlocking my achievement related to getting that 50,000 high score. That's this one right here, the Score Runner 3 achievement worth 100 gamer score. Now, depending on how long you've been playing, this may or may not be your last achievement. As I mentioned before, I still had the Coin Hunter 3 achievement left for collecting 2,000 coins. I was still pretty close to getting that one. All I did was restart the game, and I ended up getting it here at the beginning of my next run. As I mentioned before, the coins are dropped every time you kill an enemy, so if you still need your achievement for collecting 2,000 coins, you simply need to keep playing the game, keep killing enemies, and eventually you're going to collect that 2,000th coin, unlocking your final achievement or trophy, that being the Coin Hunter 3 achievement worth 100 gamer score. And as you can see, we got that full 1,000 gamer score, and hopefully you guys got yours as well. Other than that, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 20 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Blackbird, and Kegger101. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.